Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube series and also the World Class Championship Wrestling Review series. We move into the 22nd of October 1983. We're almost to the end of the year, about another 2 months, 10 or 12 episodes, and we will be through not only 1 but 2 years of World Class. We will be covering the entire run up through 1988. I think it's October's the last World Class that's available on the network. I think they run another year, but I'm not totally sure on that. But anyway, there are 3 segments to this particular program. The segments are the first 2 are pretty short because the last is a World Championship match for the NWA title. So that is rare, but also super, super exciting because it's not a typical challenger. Michael Hayes and John Mantell start here. Hayes with another robe, jacket, whatever you have, and Hayes is always juking and jiving, talking and thriving, and Mantell, who has been coming up on the receiving ends of maybe a little bit more than 50-50 wins as of late, certainly worth going to bat for here. Hayes always trying to slow things down, not trying to waste a whole bunch of motion. An attempted Thez press that causes a stun gun-like maneuver for Hayes and a quick victory. Literally, the match takes less than about 4 minutes as Hayes sticks the victory. I don't know that that's the original finish, but it's the one they went with. And Hayes gets the victory, walks away the victor, and then we move into Jimmy Garvin, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, Art Cruz, I believe still America's heavyweight champion. Garvin in the ring and fighting with Cruz, obviously coming out with Sunshine and his other valet. So 2 valets for Jimmy Garvin. Probably has the most heat in Texas right now, maybe outside of Kamala. But again, Chris Adams calls Jimmy Garvin a coward and challenges him to fight again off the heels of the match several weeks ago. I wish there was more done with that today, making things that happened 8-10 weeks ago matter now. Cruz comes up with an armbar, kind of tries to stay on Garvin, doesn't get exactly what he wants. Garvin always able to turn things into a slower pace, and then cheats to win, uses the buckle and any other advantage he can get in order to keep his match going his way, as is to be expected for a former multi-time champion, but he's also willing to sit on his man, make him carry him with a reverse chin lock, and take some cheap shots here and there if he needs to. Sunshine and the other valet at ringside, and he is certainly making, light of the fact that he does not believe that he should have to fight anybody. He is saying that he's one of the best in the world. He can command whatever he wants, and that in fact, he does not see Chris Adams as a worthy challenger. Next up, an amazing match, worth going out of your way to see on purpose. King Harley Race, the King and 7-time NWA champion, taking on a guy that less than 2 years ago I don't think anyone would have seen him in the same ring with, and that being the Iceman King Parsons. Parsons has been protected and booked so well since coming in that I think it believable to the Texas audience that Race and he would have a reasonable match, and they do. Race trying to stall early in the contest, as the champion would want to do, going all around the world, not wasting any motion. Harley is, without a doubt, one of the finer world champions. Some would say the last real touring champion other than Flair, so second to last touring champion. And then we see Race hit the headbutt against the head of Parsons, and obviously they do the Parsons is African American, therefore he has a hard head deal. Race again for the second time very early in the match. Tries to go to the outside. Von Erich on the outside also seconding his friend. And then we see Harley trying to regain some composure. So much walk and talk in this. Lots of people wouldn't like it, but to me, when the idea of wrestling is don't get hurt and convince the people that this is real. If you were a champion, would you want to be in there going 100 miles an hour every night, all night, or would you like to pace yourself and do so appropriately? Harley does get back in the ring, obviously, and Harley bumps around for the big man. Iceman King Parsons gets a sleeper hold on Harley Race, and that goes on for quite a while. Harley tries to pull him to the outside, sends him into the steel ring post, trying to use any advantage he can get. Race momentarily distracted by Garvin, and has some issues there, and Race is momentarily bothered and gets clunked. We go back in the ring, go back to the sleeper. Parsons using the same hold again and again. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So Harley Race certainly looks vulnerable. And some would say the match with Parsons isn't great. I would say it's phenomenal because they're not doing a lot, but it's having an impact anyway. Race goes back to the outside of the ring, trying to gain any advantage he can. Suplex on the floor is attempted and actually turned into a brainbuster on the floor. That should be it right there. Somehow or other, King Parsons makes his way back in. I think it would have been fine to have a count-out victory there, but a shove from the Von Erich from the outside. Referee upset by this. 1 count and 2 count, and Harley Race out the back door. So it almost looks like the Von Erichs were going to get even with Harley. Coco butt by Iceman King Parsons and gets a 2 count there. Just a match that really goes a lot further than many people would think it would. And the crowd's on their feet for all of it. They're not doing any, crazy high spots. They're not going nuts. They are working hard, and they're keeping in motion. But it's all motion that A, makes sense, and B, doesn't require either guy to get terribly hurt in the process. They go back out to the floor for what is the 4th or 5th time. The outside the ring referee is trying to stop them. Branko Luvic trying to stop them. Backdrop on the arena floor. And Parsons back in the ring. Parsons wants to go right back out there. Referee tries to stop him and does, at least momentarily. Race having some difficulties and kicks out again after an offensive flurry from Parsons. And then we see Parsons really going to town and brawling with Race. Race is nearly knocked out, and Race takes a shot at Von Erich on the outside. Von Erich nails him, sends him backwards. Parsons shoves the referee and then hits the butt on Harley 1, 2, and 3. Visual pinfall. Now the other referee makes his way in, says that there's outside interference from Von Erich. The match is overthrown and overturned, and still your heavyweight champion Harley Race. I think they rely a little too much on the, for lack of a better term, dusty finish. But in this particular case, with Iceman King Parsons being as homegrown a talent as he is, I think it works. But we'll be back with more. We'll close out October right after this.